What's going on, Sky Squad? We are back in the building and we gotta talk news. We're talking Ebony K. Williams today. We got some news on Kenya Moore's new gig. Both of these ladies got some new gigs. I mean, who knows what they'll lead to? You know. We also got to talk about SAFAREE exposing production on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Oh, Lord. Why do people do that? I never know why the people bites the hands that feeds them, okay? I don't know. Y'all gonna have to let me know in the chatterization. Then we're gonna do a little mini recap of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta from last night. You know, just a couple of little details to follow up on. And that's the news for today. Before we get into that, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell button, join the texting community. Just tap those numbers right there on your phone, and then I can start sending you messages every time a new video drops. Now, with that out of the way, let's get down with this shakedown on this good Tuesday afternoon. Okay, first things first. Your girl, Ebony K. Williams from the Real Housewives of New York City is headed to The View. Oh, yes. Listen, let me give you the details. You know, the new season for The View is just starting. Now, they are celebrating 25 years on the air. 25 years, that's quite the milestone. And as you guys know, Meghan McCain exited the show after 4 years, you know, because it felt like she just couldn't get along with the girls. But, you know, what she had said allegedly was that she wanted to be closer to, you know, to her home in DC, because as the ladies move back into this new season, starting on September 7th, basically what's going to happen is the ladies will be back in the studio and all together. And Meghan said, you know what? I want to be close to my family. I ain't got time to be trying to get up to New York with y'all. Now I'm raising a baby and I got stuff to do. Okay. So now that has left open a possible rotating chair for at least the time being. Now, with that rotating chair, we're going to be getting some people like the likes of Ebony K. Williams, who is a former Fox News, personality. Okay. Most of you guys may know her as, you know, a Real Housewives of New York cast member, but she also has, you know, a law degree. She is also very well-versed in the podcasting space with her podcast, Holding Court with Ebony K. Williams, with Dustin Ross, and her show, the show she was doing with Joe Budden and Remy Ma and all them, State of the Culture, I think it was. Let me know in the chatterization if I got that wrong, because, you know, I be trying to get it right. So Ebony's going to be filling in on The View along with the whole cadre of other co-hosts like Condoleezza Rice, okay? Gretchen Carlson, Carly Fiorina, who else y'all might know? Cameron Eubanks from Southern Charm. A whole lot of folks going to be up on here trying to, you know, get that fifth slot. Let me know in the chatterization what you guys think about it. I personally feel like this is the role for Ebony. I just think that, listen, she belongs, and not to say she doesn't belong on Housewives, but I do think that she is really good at what she does in terms of the hosting and the on-air personality and getting the facts together. She's a wealth of knowledge, and I just think that The View would be the perfect place for her to go. But the question is, you know, will they add another woman of color to that spot, to fill that conservative spot that has been, you know, pretty much that fifth spot seems to always go to someone who is ultra conservative to sort of represent a different sort of take on things than what we typically get from the rest of the girls. But y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think down below. You here for Ebony on The View? I am. Okay. But the question is, the better question is right now, are you here for Kenya Moore on Dancing with the Stars? Okay. Yes, TMZ is reporting that Kenya Moore is about to join the cast of Dancing with the Stars, okay? Now, the show is going to be celebrating their 30th season on ABC. She's going to be joining the long list of housewives like Nene Leakes, Lisa Vanderpump, Erica Jane, Kim Zolciak, Lisa Rinna. You know, she's going to be joining all of them on Dancing with the Stars, and it's very, very interesting. Now, I wouldn't have anticipated her to do this, mostly because right now she is in, you know, what it appears to be a pretty nasty, you know, custody, you know, situation, and she's getting ready to gear up to film The Real Housewives of Atlanta. But I'll tell you what, I mean, listen, I think it's going to be pretty neat if she can add this to the resume, especially while she's filming, because, you know, hello, additional storyline, people. You know, how is she going to balance it all? How is she going to juggle it all? Does that mean that she is going to be taking a lot of time away from filming and attending cast events? Let's hope not, because, you know, without Kenya Moore there, the pot is not going to be stirred. It's not going to be stirred, and we're not going to have no drama, okay? Well, if Marlo's joining the cast, as reports, you know, indicate, then the drama will still be served. But, you know, right now, I'm trying to think. I think I like it. I think I like the idea that hopefully they will be able to follow her on that journey as she prepares for Dancing with the Stars for this new season. I'm excited about it. I don't traditionally watch that show because I just be feeling like it's too long. You know, any show that lasts about 2 hours and then you got to follow up the next day with another episode, and I got to find out the next day what's going on. I don't want to do it. It's too much. My attention span is just not that long. So I would just prefer to watch the clips online and see how she does and then follow it that way. Hopefully they chronicle this experience on the show, especially since it's not going to air until 2022. Okay. But let me know what your thoughts are down in the description link down below. Are you excited? Will you be watching Kenya Moore on that good Dancing with the Stars? You know what I'm saying? Let me know in the chatterization, because I want to know what you're going to be doing. Now, speaking of watching things on TV, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta came on. It's what is this? What was it? It's season, don't even remember what season. It's season 10, episode 9. It was called Mama Drama. But before we get into our little light mix recap of that, we got to talk about some news, because your boy SAFAREE Samuels is exposing production. Why do reality TV stars do this, especially when they still be on the show? I never understand that. It doesn't make any sense to me. I understand there's the desire to get your side of the story out there, but at the end of the day, when you sign up for this, you kind of sign up to, you know, I mean, living your life and having them filming and then having production do what they want to do with the footage. I mean, that's just the nature of reality TV. Everybody knows that. And he's been in this game long enough. He's been on every single Love and Hip Hop franchise there is. You know what I'm saying? Probably going to be on the next one. And we don't even know what it is. But anyway, well, I don't know after this. But let's take a look at what he had to say, because our friends over at Urban Bell Mag happened to capture this. And of course, the link will be in the description down below, so you guys can read more on this story and a whole lot more. Now, with that being said, this is what SAFAREE tweeted, okay? And I'm assuming this either happened sometime last night or whatever. But as you guys will notice, him and Erica was not on last night's episode. And quite honestly, I was thankful for it, because from what we see on the screen, their relationship just seems so toxic, But SAFAREE is letting us know all is not as it seems on the television screen, okay? This is what he had to tweet, okay? He says, I don't need or want sympathy from anybody, but before you wonder about how my relationship with my kids are, just know that they are on their way to a great childhood. Y'all believe this TV-ish if you want, but a lot of y'all don't have common sense, so get it. Dang, I get it, but dang. Then he says, I'm sick of this fake narrative too, like I'm a deadbeat. I don't want to treat for being with my kids, but don't act like I'm not with my kids because y'all don't see it. My kids live in a mansion, and that's because of me. I'm with them all the time. Now, my question is this, all right? Your kids live in a mansion. I mean, but I'm assuming part of that payment is coming from Erica Mena. Maybe not. I don't really know. But what I do know is even if they are in the mansion, I mean, does that mean they are with you? Because we are led to believe that you are never there, according to Erica, if we are to believe everything that Erica is saying and the people are posting or whatnot. So it seems like, you know, now he's sick of this idea that, we have seen him on the screen not really being there, a whole lot for Erica and the baby, especially after they done got robbed. They done got the house broken into, and you too busy down to the Miami to be bothered enough to come back and check on your family after having such an event happen. I can't imagine. I just can't imagine. Moving on, he had more to say. He says, I have a 7-figure mortgage that's not going to pay itself. So unless y'all opinions start paying that, go suck something. Okay, I'm going to really go back to word party now. Go to heck, bad mind. I'm not necessarily sure what all that meant, especially those last 2 sentences, but I'm assuming it's some sort of slang that I'm just not familiar with. Moving right along, it's interesting. I hate when people pull in that I'm making this much money, this how much my mortgage is. Everybody got a mortgage if they got it. That's not to say that, listen, people rent, people got mortgages. Just because you got money, don't make you any better than the rest of anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Then he says this: who on earth can live with someone who's 6-month preggers and not know? Dumb butts. I do more than a lot of y'all women baby daddies who go months and weeks without seeing or doing anything for their kids. Dummies. I'm going to go back to watching cloud babies. Again, I don't know what the cloud babies are. Maybe it's just me being unfamiliar with the slang or the slangerization of it all. But here's where the exposing comes in. Because he's saying, who on earth can live with someone who's 6 months pregnant and not know? So what I guess he's saying here is that apparently he did know. So it was you who acted as though you didn't know. Okay, let's put it like this. When you sign on to do reality TV, you sign on to have them film your life. Now, I don't know about the Love and Hip Hop, filming. I don't know what they do. But what I do know is that typically my experience was when you film a reality TV show, they will ask you, what do you want to talk about? They will bring in things that, maybe you don't want to talk about, but they may be integral to what you're doing and your story. And then there may be certain things that they want you to do, places they want you to go, topics they want you to talk about. But I ain't never heard of such where they're going to say to you, I'm going to need you to pretend that you didn't know about this baby after she was 6 months. Because on camera, Erica said it, and now you saying it too. So at the end of the day, you the one who fed us that scenario. Because let's say, for instance, production brought it, just for the sake of argument, and I'm not saying this happened, but let's say for the sake of argument, production said, ooh, you know what would be juicy? Why don't you act like you ain't know she was pregnant? Yes, that's what we'll do. That's what the people want to see. And you're going to act like you didn't know because you're going to act like you've been sleeping in another room for the past 6 months. Yes, this is going to be good. And then for that to work, he would have had to say, you know what? I think that's going to be good. It's going to provide some drama. I don't care how it makes me look. I'm just going to go ahead and do it because the check going to cash, right? So then you go about filming it. And then what? You don't like the response that you're getting? So that seems to be what he's telling us, okay? You agreed to go along with this story that you didn't know about it. You fed it to us because at the end of the day, what I will tell you is this too. You have the right to say no to anything you don't want to film. You do. You do. You've seen it before. You've seen it when somebody gets mad and they walk off the scene. You have seen it. I know for myself. You can say no to anything. It's up to you. You may be encouraged to do something, but they cannot make you do it. The only thing they can make you do is appear in another season. Bottom line, because that's a contract. But outside of that, what you do in that season, you got to take some responsibility for some of that too. And trust me, I know. Now, let's get into the episode at hand, because I'm going to go ahead and run the list down to y'all about everything that happened, because it wasn't even worth me going live today to do this review, because legitimately not a lot happened in this episode. And again, we're talking season 10, episode 9 is what we at. Mama Drama. So we basically have two things going on. You have your Dubai group and you have, what's going on in Atlanta. And what's going on in Atlanta is mostly Rhony Rucci's story, where she is confronting her mom for talking smack about her. Apparently, she read something in the media or on social media about Rhony Rucci allegedly doing some white powdery substance, and that thus leading her nose to run. The word gets back to Rhony Rucci, who completely denies any of this, and she confronts her mother for talking about her to her sister, okay? And the bottom line is, when she confronts her mama claims it never happened. And so Rhony is really prepared to just take her kids and live in Atlanta full time. And that's what she about to do. That was that on that storyline, okay? Mama D is headed to Dubai, but not because Mama D was invited. It was because Mama D she was invited, but she not by Yandy and not by Mendeecees, but she was invited by Judy. Now, Miss Judy, for y'all that don't know, is Mendeecees' mama, okay? So Miss Judy is mad at Yandy because she feel like Yandy is poisoning her son against her. She feel like, and she tells Mama D that Yandy can make things look any type of way, and that basically she feels like she paying, I think this is what she said, she paying Mendeecees to say negative things about her on these shows, and that the marriage that they had in the past was fake. Now, apparently this has been addressed multiple times by Yandy, okay? But for Mama D, Mama D apparently knew that the document, that the marriage certificate wasn't signed, but she, for some reason, feels like she didn't realize Miss Judy didn't think that the wedding was fake. Now, this is a matter of semantics to me. Was the wedding real? Was the wedding fake? Let me know in the chatterization what y'all think, because I really don't know at this point. Some people say, well, if they was married by and they was married in the name of the Lord, then it was real. Some people said that paperwork won't sign and it was a farce. Let me know in the chatterization. Now, the other thing that's going on is two other things that's going on in Dubai. One, Rashida thinks she's pregnant. Now, when I Googled Rashida's age, she's 45. I just felt like, and I think I follow her on social media, I ain't seen neither hide nor hair of a baby bump or anything like that. So to me, I felt like, because we can really literally see into the future, if you just look on social media, you could probably tell that the woman not pregnant. And I just felt like after they've gone through all of these things, it was no way she was going to be pregnant. I just didn't believe it. And I don't even know why they went down this rabbit hole, but fine, they did. And anyway, she's not pregnant. Bottom line, Charli has discovered that her daughter has invited her boyfriend, what's his name? I want to call him PK, but I don't think that's his name. What is that boy's name? It's in my notes. Anyway, it don't really matter because Charli don't like him. She feels like her daughter's different around him. She feels like the boy is, because he's still living at home with his mama, and apparently he's a backup dancer. He's not good enough for her daughter. So once Charli finds out that her daughter invited her and convinced Charli to pay for a room for her, she was really paying for a room for her and her man. Charli is upset because she wanted to spend some quality time with her daughter. Now, we also learned that Lamar couldn't make it because he couldn't get a passport. Why couldn't Lamar get a passport? Y'all ever met these people that can't ever get something? And I don't know if it was because he couldn't or because he just didn't think about it, or the passport. And this is the thing. There are some people in life, they just never had their stuff together when it's time to do something. And I feel like he one of those type of people. You know what I'm saying? Ain't got nothing together. And that would be a sign for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna need you when we, I don't have to worry about this now, but I just feel like, let me give y'all some advice out there, okay? If y'all trying to date somebody, you ask them these questions right off the bat. You got a passport? Where was the last place you traveled overseas, or something like that to that effect? Because if you like to travel overseas, you need to make sure that their passport is at the ready so that anytime you get ready to, you can, we out of this beat, okay? But you can't live that type of lifestyle if you're not equally yoked and they can't find their passport, can't obtain one, or don't know where it is. Okay, so that should be a sign right there, Miss Carly Red. But anyway, Jasmine's like, well, don't be mad at me because your man couldn't find a passport and mine got one. Bloop. The next thing that we got going on is, Mama D finally shows up. Erica also comes. Erica, not Mena. Listen, this is no shade to Erica and SAFAREE, but their storyline is kind of draining to me. So I'm glad she wasn't there. But Erica, from Erica and Scrappy Days, is there. And I like her. She refreshing to me. But she arrives, then Mama D comes in later at the little dinner that the cast is all at. And they looking at her like, well, girl, what you doing here? Because honestly, she won't invite it. So she announces that Miss Judy had invited her, but Miss Judy not even gonna get there till the next day. This gives Mama D the opportunity to tell Yandy what Judy then told her about the marriage being fake. So as she tells Yandy, well, girl, I didn't know the marriage was fake. I didn't know it was, Miss Judy said it was fake. I didn't know it was not real. And Mama D don't lie. So Yandy's like, Mandisi. So Mandisi's come running over, and he's sitting there like, nah, Mama can stay at home if she's going to be doing all of this and causing all this drama. So Yandy gets frustrated and upset, and her and Mandisi's leave Mama D to sit over there by herself and stew in her gossip. And so at that point, she goes and she's venting to Rashida and Erica, and she's basically telling them, I did not sign that documentation because I was not trying to pay nobody's restitution, i.e. Mendici's, nor child support for any child that I do not have, okay? Because I'm assuming that if she married him, she would have become liable for having to pay those things because he was not working and he couldn't pay them. So the money would have come out her pocket. But Yandy said, oh, no, ma'am, you will not get my cash, okay? You won't get these coins today. They're going to remain in my bank account. So we're not going to sign this documentation right here, but we're going to let y'all think that we did it. Anyway, this has been covered before plenty of times by Yandy on the other franchise, but now we got to deal with it again because Miss Judy then brought it up. So Yandy got to go over and explain this whole situation all over again. At the end of the day, Erica tells her she got to set some boundaries. So we don't know what's about to happen, but we know that Miss Judy gonna get there next week. The other thing that's going on in this scenario is Sierra and Eric are spending a lot of time together. She wants a baby. She kind of asks him if he wants a baby too, because he's trying to figure out what to get her for her birthday. And she indicates that, a baby would be kind of good to have because her daughter wants to have a little sister or something like that. And so the Eric guy, who I actually really like for her, is like, I don't think he's ready to have a baby. He said he kind of fumbled around. Yeah, I'm ready to have a baby. But in my mind, I was like, I don't think he's ready for that. Why don't you just marry the man first before you have a baby? Why don't y'all get married? Why don't y'all actually spend a little bit more time together? No shade, because the relationship, according to her, did move kind of fast. So why don't you just settle on down for a little bit, enjoy, travel, get all this stuff out the way before you go in and add on a baby into the equation with a man that you still trying to get to know? That's my question. But at the end of the day, she said, when you know, and I can attest to that. But I can also say that when you know, so wait a little while longer, okay? Because you just never know. That's my statement on the case. But whatever the case may be, I think next week he's going to pop the question. There you have it. That was your review for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Season 10, Episode 9, Mama Drama. That's all the news that we got for y'all right now. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell button. Let me know what you thought about last night's episode of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Let me know if you're excited about Kenya Moore on Dancing with the Stars. If you think Ebony should go to The View, should she leave Real Housewives of New York? I want to know what you think down in the comment section down below. Join the chatterization, and I will catch you guys in the next video.